Welcome, yogis, to this recovery practice for shoulders and arms. We will need a few props today, so I'd like you to prep yourself by grabbing a strap, a bolster, and a block. Some alternatives to these things, if you don't have them at home, would be a necktie or a piece of rope. Unfortunately, a hand towel may be too short, so even if you have a longer bath towel, that should work. As a bolster alternative, a couple bed pillows stacked on top of each other would be perfect. And then for the block, you could use a couple books or even a additional pillow should work for our purposes. So gather all your props and I will see you on the mat. All right, guys, if you have your props ready, just go ahead and put those over to the side. We will use them a little later. And we're going to start practice on our feet today. So if you just find a spot on your mat, spread your toes, get your feet to hips width distance apart. We'll close the eyes for a moment just to center and ground. As you start to find stillness, you may observe a little movement or sway in the body. That is perfectly fine. Notice if your weight seems to settle towards the balls of your feet, and you might just play with leaning back a little. Feel how that changes the engagement in your body and the stacking of your joints. A few more intentional breaths, lengthening inhale and matching the exhale. As you're ready, blink your eyes open. We can move the feet a little bit wider, and then we're going to start by just swinging the arms. Start to swing back and forth. Just let the arms be really light. You can start to make these a little bit more active as you're ready to. And feel free to let your heels lift off the floor, swivel on your toes or on the balls of your feet, and allow yourself to get a little bit more into the twist. And don't fight with your head, right? Let the gaze spiral past the shoulder that moves back. As long as everything's feeling okay, you can feel free to kind of rotate a little more swiftly and let the arms tap the body. The tapping can actually be really good, so don't be afraid of that. And you'll just notice that the more aggressively you spin, the higher the arms naturally go. The softer you spin, the lower they stay, and that's going to target different areas in your arms. So don't feel like stronger or harder is always best, right? It's just a little different. And then we'll start to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Once you're back to stillness, we'll heel toe the feet in towards hips width once again. And then rolling to a ragdoll nice and slow. Chin will come to your chest. Start to round the upper spine. Let the arms just drape in front of you. Soften your knees and slowly roll all the way down to ragdoll. And once you get down there, you can either let the arms dangle or lace them into the eyes of the elbows. You're always welcome to keep the knees soft, but if it feels more natural to straighten the legs, that's okay too. Bobbing and swaying side to side may also aid in the release, so play with that. Leave some space between your teeth so the jaw is soft. And let gravity do its thing.
few more breaths. You may even settle back into stillness and just let the body hang. Allow your arms to dangle towards the floor. And then while we're in this fold, fish around for your strap. With your strap in hand, we'll maintain everything rounded. Soften the knees once again, and on an exhale, roll your way to stand. Arms stay heavy, the spine slowly unfurls, stacking one vertebra on top of the next until you arrive in standing. Let's take your strap into a long position. You'll hold onto the strap with both hands, and then we're going to simply just go up and over. So you'll want to let the strap slide between the hands as much as needed, and we're just going forward and backwards. It's possible that one shoulder may be more open than the other. So what we want to avoid is catering to the more open shoulder, and then that other shoulder is like wonky trying to get over, right? Instead, we'll stay in the range of the tighter shoulder and make sure everything is even. After a few of these, you may notice you could try choking up a little closer on the strap, but we don't always want to go to that 100% range. Sometimes being in this place where we have a little more space to play with will show us more. Couple more of these. Just be patient with them. Allow the body to open up on its own time. Finish up one more. Alright, you can ditch your strap off to the side. Let's take an inhale, sweep the arms overhead, feels nice. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Take a flat back, breathe in. Plant your hands onto the mat and simply step back to down dog. We'll take a few spinal rolls. On a breath in, rise to tiptoes. Tuck your tailbone, round the spine forward to plank. And then you'll bend your knees, arc your back like cow pose, and scoop your hips back to dog. Again, roll forward to plank. Arc back to dog. One more time like that. Roll forward. And arc it back. This time, roll forward to plank and lower all the way down to your belly. Take a breath in, cobra pose. Breath out, lower down. Take your hands a little bit wider and forward. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, lower. One more time like that. Inhale, roll up. Cobra pose. And exhale to lower. Take your fingers now tented off the mat and wide with the elbows propped up over the wrists. Breathe in, lift up through your cobra. Breathe out, dip your right shoulder to center mat. Inhale to center, left shoulder dips. So you'll go back and forth, noting that your gaze can either be against the twist or with the twist. Right? They'll provide a different stretch in the neck, so you play with it, see what your body needs. Move slow and mindfully.
couple more. Come back down through center. From here, you'll extend your left arm straight out to the side with your right hand under your shoulder. Start by rolling to your left side. Now you can stay here. If it's too much, you can bend your right knee, set it in front of you so you're just rolled a little bit more forward. And if you have farther to go, your options are either step your right foot behind you with knee to sky. For some of you, might even be able to get both feet on the floor and keep rolling. Wherever you are, be sure to breathe. Extend your legs, roll over to your belly, and we'll switch. Right arm to the side, left hand under shoulder. Roll to your right side. And then again, your options are to bring the left knee in front of you, to step the left foot behind you, or maybe even get both feet on the floor, knees to sky. Wherever you find yourself, be sure to breathe. Have some patience easing in. If both knees feel like too much too soon, stay with the one foot on the floor first. After a little bit of time, you just might find that deeper expression. Depending on how you sleep, how you drive, how you sit, our shoulders can be very different. So maybe this side is tighter. Maybe it's more open. Just be aware of the differences. Last few breaths. Extend your legs. Roll back over to your belly. Take your hands under your shoulders and let's press back to a child's pose. Forehead down. Arms draped out in front. And you can soften your elbows. If the floor is far away, you could always stack your palms to make a little pillow. Or you could use any of those props you have nearby. The bolster, a pillow, block, anything you've got. Ground your energy. Find contentment in stillness. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees as you come upright. All right, we're going to grab our bolster and our block at this point. You'll put the block towards the top of your mat, and then the bolster is going to come across the mat the wide way. So, of course, if you have those bed pillows, same thing across, but you might need two stacked on top of another. We'll begin by coming down onto the bolster with the chest. So you'll want your shoulders over the bolster. From here, we'll start by weaving the right arm through, palm face up. And then on top of that, or above it, I should say, the left arm will then weave. So you're kind of getting both of the elbows in one plane, and if you have more room to extend farther, so be it. You'll then try scooting forward if necessary, and get your forehead on the block or on your additional pillow, your folded up blanket, whatever you have. Of course, if it feels comfortable to get rid of that support under your head, that's your prerogative. Just feel it out. And then once you get here, simply breathe in stillness. You may notice the longer you're here, the more settled you become. Give in to that. Release any places you're still holding on. And expand your breath into your support. We've got about 1 more minute. Settle and breathe. If you're getting any kinds of tingly sensation, just ease out a little bit. Give yourself a little more room. To come out of this posture, start by lifting your head. Slowly slide the arms back. I'll just take them into this kind of supported sphinx. If you have your block, you might turn it up a notch. Set your head down on it. Just be here in this neutral place. Alright, to switch sides. Lift your head again, set your block back on the low height. This time we'll start by weaving the left arm. So the left arm comes through first, then the right arm reaches across, and you can start with the elbows in the same line, Or maybe you have the room to reach a little more.
Set your head down. Make any adjustments that you need so that you can eventually stay in stillness. Once you're comfortable, find your breath. Remember the time it took to settle in on the first side. Give this side just as much time and patience. Begin to notice already how much more ease there is, how much more you can settle and release. We have 1 more minute left. Expand your breath into those places that may need a little more space. Start to come out of this posture, first by deepening your breath, then by peeling the head up. Slide the arms out. And again, take the arms into that more Sphinx position. Turn your block up if need be, and set your head down to rest. Just a few moments here. As you're ready, we'll bring ourselves upright to transition. The block can go over to the side. Don't mind the red dot that's probably on my forehead right now. And we're going to sit on our left hip with the knees pointing at the long edge of the mat. This is going to be a side bend over the props. So we'll begin by just bringing the left side body up and over. Now ideally I'd like both arms extended. The hands can kind of steeple and you'll rest here.
adjust to find that comfortable place. Hopefully the left arm can serve as a pillow, but of course if you need more support, you could stuff something in under your neck to fill the gaps. Maybe that towel if you have one, sweatshirt, whatever you have nearby, just to fill the space in so you feel more supported. Depending on how short your waist is, mine is pretty short, you might also need to shift up and over the bolster a little more, so your left hip might be slightly on the bolster. That's fine. Once you get yourself there, close your eyes. You have the option to extend your left leg, the top leg, if you so choose. Maybe both legs if that's more comfortable. And just being easy about the setup. Not feeling like you need to be strict about rules, right? Whatever's comfortable, that's the place you settle. This is our final minute in this position. Scan your body and notice if you're still holding on in any place. Can you drop in just a little heavier? Start to come out by releasing your hands. Use your arms to help press you back up to seated. And then you can simply cross your legs for a moment. Sit up tall with your eyes closed and find neutral. Notice how you feel. As you're ready, you'll open your eyes and we'll swap over to the other side. So this time, your right hip will come up next to the bolster with your knees pointing at the long edge. You'll drape your right side body up and over the bolster. And then again, steeple your hands using the right arm as a pillow, filling in any gaps, shifting over the bolster as much as you need, and maybe allowing the right hip to come on it a little bit. And then you have the option to play with your legs, extending your left leg, the top leg, or even both legs. Find that comfortable place and settle. This is our final minute. Notice any places you're still gripping. Release and drop in. Start to deepen your breath. Release your hands. Use your arms to help press back up to a seat. And then once again, find a cross-legged position, just sitting up tall with your eyes closed. As you're ready, you can open your eyes. And I'll invite you to close out practice by simply laying down on your back and just draping your legs over the bolster. Feel free to stay as long as you like in your Shavasana. And thank you again for tuning in. Namaste.